So tonight I'm really pleased to spend just a few moments highlighting the impact that my friend and partner, Dr. John Walburn, has had on pediatrics in Omaha, the state of Nebraska, and beyond, basically because of all the people that he's taught. He graduated from residency in 1976 and started a solo practice in North Omaha on North 24th Street. I loved, as a student and as a resident and even as his partner, hearing him tell his stories about making house calls to homes or even going into churches to see some of his patients. He had a faculty appointment at UNMC starting in 1977 and had been involved in student and resident education up and through his retirement in 2020. In 1983, he moved in to the pediatric clinic at UNMC and was the section chief for 30 years. That clinic eventually became the Children's Physicians Clinic that is there right now. He was a program director for the residency from 1999 to 2010 and served as the longest tenured program director in its history. Prior to Dr. Walburn, I think the longest anybody ever was program director was just a couple of years. And I think the difference there was John actually wanted to be program director and did a great job. He successfully led that program through multiple regulatory changes, probably most notably for a lot of us older people in the group is that there were no work hour restrictions, and he marshaled the program through that and all of the other increased regulatory requirements. During his tenure, that program improved its stature and reputation, consistently attracting students from around the country and also retaining the best students that we have locally. In the clinic, John was a tremendous believer in quality improvement and innovation. He was always willing to try something new to make the clinic run better for ourselves and for our patients. He frequently prompted clinic staff to self-improve and would fund books for college classes. We had a number of really excellent clinic staff who were aided by Dr. Walburn's prompting in advancing their degrees and then getting better positions. We would lose them, but they would gain better jobs, and he helped people down their career paths. John was a champion for caring for the underserved and worked both in the clinic and with multiple community agencies to advocate and improve access to care and early childhood education for all children. More than anyone that I've ever known, he has modeled a curiosity and an interest in lifelong learning. I have no idea how many thousands of children John took care of over his career, but I know it spanned 3 generations and many families. He's beloved, and they still ask about him to this day. When I first started in the clinic, it was a frequent occurrence to see a child, then have the family, after I finished with them, ask if Dr. Walburn was going to come in and see them. John has perhaps the best testimony ever given by a mother who said, quote, "Next to Jesus, I trust Dr. Walburn." Over his career, spanning from 1977 to 2020, John would have been involved in the education of thousands of medical students and hundreds of residents. In sports, one may hear of coaching trees, whereby a list of coaches who worked and learned under a prominent head coach are listed. It serves to demonstrate the influence and impact a coach has had on their sport. I think for Dr. Walburn, we can demonstrate a similar, analogous pediatric tree. So I ask you, please stand up and remain so if you were a graduate from the UNMC Creighton Children's Residency Program from 1999 to 2010, when Dr. Walburn was program director. Please stand up and remain so if you were a student who was taught by Dr. Walburn. Please stand up and remain so if you were a resident in the program from 1977 to 2020. Please stand up and remain so if you ever worked in the clinic with Dr. Walburn during his career. Please stand up if you worked with